Hi, this is Karen. It's been a little while, but I am excited to share with you some of the highlights of our new regulation tracking product. So if you look at regulation sheets, if you had any before, they should still be here now. But there is a couple massive improvements I'm excited to share. So let's look at one I've got here about energy efficiency. Okay, so when you open it up, you've got now one row per regulation, and each one of these should be a reg. And then we've got a bunch more columns you can pick from for all kinds of different things that we're going to keep filled in and filled out as best we can. So all of these are available for you in the template. So if you're starting fresh, then you'll get kind of a standard template. If you already have a sheet, then you're going to need to go and modify your template to add in some of these new columns, whichever ones look helpful to you. All right, so let's click through one of these regulations. All right, so what you'll see first is the AI summary, which is a summary of all of the documents that we have associated with this regulation. So this summary is across all of the documents, plus whatever supporting information we've got for you. And then the documents themselves are going to be listed here, and you'll be able to see kind of what we know about them. And then if you look at one of them, then it will take you to the viewer that we have had all along, and it'll be just, the document that we had, and your search terms will be highlighted in blue like they were before. You can also use this to search if you want to do other searches. And then this summary right here is going to be for this specific document. So the summary for the reg was against all of the documents, and the summary here is just for this individual document, kind of to help you get your arms around all the different materials that the state might have provided. And then, of course, a little bit of other supporting information, like when the document was published. Okay, so for these documents down here, you can download them if you want them. For whatever reason, print them, but I would discourage that. But those tools are all available to you to work with the actual regulation documents. Okay, and then we also have the similar button. So this is going to give you other documents, other regulations like this one across the country, just like our bills work. So there you go. Similar regs. Have fun. Okay, so now back to the main sheet here. You now have some new query options. So let's look at that. So you can choose what type you want. Do you want just new regulations, or do you want to see them when they're opened again? Do you want to see notices? So this is going to give you limit just the kinds of documents the actual regulations that come into the system. So for most regulations in most states, the notices, if they're about a specific reg, should be grouped into that reg. For some states, though, like from the bulletins, we can't really figure out like what specific reg that is referring to. So some of the notices will be naked. So just keep in mind that that can happen. And if you don't care about the hearing notices, then don't check that box and you won't get those kind of random extra ones. If you do, then just realize you might have, like, if we could figure out what reg it is, it'll be grouped in. Otherwise, if it's just naked, then that's why, because we couldn't figure out what reg it applied to. Anyway, you can limit them to just where they are in the rulemaking process. You can limit them to specific agency types, just like we do for committees for bills, or you can switch and look for a specific agency, and it'll let you limit to whatever specific agency. These will respect your query up here. So if you're in just one state, which is the most likely case, if you're looking for a specific agency, then it will show you only the agencies in that state. Again, you can do the rolling date range, and you can add individual regulations, but only using that plus button. Okay, so that is the new options for querying. So as you see, you can narrow it down quite a bit more, particularly by using the agency, but you can also write the queries just like you could before. And because we have this additional data, we also have some new alert choices for you. So of course you can get a notice if there's any regulation, but you can now get a notice if a new document comes out related to one of the regulations you're already following. Or if a new hearing document comes out that either matches your search, if it's naked, or is attached to a regulation that you're already following. If your regulation changes status, if your regulation changes type, so if it goes from an emergency to an actual, a temporary reg to a real reg, then, we can show you that kind of transition. And then if we get an effective date, now we're doing our best to pull the effective dates out. We've got them in lots of places and we'll be getting more and more. So you don't necessarily want to 100% count on the effective date yet, but it's pretty good and it should be much, much better as time goes on and we're able to get more and more effective dates out of the regs. Okay, so that's all there. We still do have the widget, so you can make a map of your regs and share that. So that's the same as it ever was. So hopefully that little taster gets you excited to try the new reg tracking product, but now we're actually giving you regs and letting you see them as they move through the process. So hopefully this is exciting to you. All right, let us know if you have any questions. Take care. Bye.